What is going on, guys? Play on Daily Fantasy Sports here, back at you today with another DFS video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Draftkings and Fanduel slates for Sunday, February 10th. Today's sort of a crazy day. There's weird slates. FanDuel's got a couple two-game slates. DraftKings has got a two-game slate at 3, a three-game slate at 6, and a night two-game slate at 7:30. So there's going to be a wide variety of slates available to play today. I recommend you don't go a full unit today when playing your slates. Usually these 2 to 3 game slates are a little bit more difficult, and typically sharps are going to have a little bit lower ROI. So usually on these type of slates, you're going to want to play 1/2 to 2/3 a unit per slate, just for safety measures. Again, if you feel really confident, then go ahead and play a full unit. But again, typically on these type of days, you're not going to want to wager a full unit on such a short slate, because one or two guys that you don't have can instantly just make the slate a loss, which on a bigger slate, that's not as likely. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the top picks. So today I'm just going to be giving out a handful of guys, whether it be DraftKings, FanDuel, that I just like in general. Again, the slates are kind of weirdly broken up, so I'll try to give out some of the guys that I think that you should be targeting for today. And the first guy that I'm going to throw out there is going to be Tyler Johnson, making his debut tonight for Phoenix. He's projected a lot of minutes, actually, and I really like him with Devin Booker, that duo synergy. Tyler's honestly, I don't think he's that great of a player, but he's the best guard that Phoenix has had in a long, long time. And in an up-tempo, fast-paced game tonight against Toronto, for a very cheap price on FanDuel, he's going to be a guy that I think you should target. The next guy that I'm going to recommend is going to be De'Aaron Fox. For only $7,700, we've seen him much more expensive this year. He's facing one of the weakest defenses in the year in Phoenix. Phoenix has been in games recently too, which has helped a lot of players' fantasy perspective. So I really like De'Aaron Fox tonight. Okay, looking over at the shooting guards on FanDuel, the first guy that I'm going to throw out there is going to be Dion Waiters. With more minutes available to him, he's guaranteed a good portion of minutes. But the other thing too is he's facing a Warriors team where even if the Warriors blow them out tonight, there's a good chance that Dion's going to still get around 28 to 30 minutes. He's the highest projected shooting guard on FanDuel, and as of now, I really like him as a quality play. Moving on over to some forwards, the first guy that I'm going to recommend is going to be Harrison Barnes. The Kings say they're going to give Barnes 35 to 36 minutes, which is absolutely bonkers. That's a lot of minutes. He's facing a weak Phoenix defense. He's played them and just destroyed them before when he was with Dallas. A very high projected play, only $5,500 for his price. Harrison Barnes is a guy I love tonight. The next forward that I'm going to throw out there is going to be Aaron Gordon. Gordon is questionable, so that's an injury you're going to have to monitor, but facing a weak Atlanta defense in a game that really shouldn't be too much of a blowout, Gordon is a great guy to target tonight. And finally, the last pick of the night that I'm going to throw out there is going to be Joel Embiid at the center position. He's the expensive player that I really like tonight. I think fading him's risky. He's facing a weak Lakers interior in what should be a close game. The Lakers need wins as many as they can get, coming off a great win against Boston. So I really like Embiid tonight as a guy to target. The next group that we're going to head over and look at is going to be the DraftKings guards. So starting things off on DraftKings, guys like Tyler Johnson, who I had mentioned, they're also solid plays, some of those FanDuel guys. But the first guard that I'm really going to throw out there to consider is going to be Bogdan Bogdanovic. This Sacramento Phoenix game has a high points total. If it can be close, Bogdan's going to be a guy you're going to want to have. The only risk here is it's still going to be very interesting to see how these minutes play out with Barnes, Bogdan, sharing minutes at the small forward shooting guard type position. But needless to say, I think he's guaranteed here 28 to 30 minutes. The sites I'm using actually are projecting him at about 32 minutes, which I think is a little high. So, sometimes you have to, use some caution with these sites. But Bogdan is a great play for tonight. And the next guard that we're going to go ahead and recommend is going to be Evan Fournier and DJ Augustin. Kind of a combo pack here, but both of them are in that Orlando game against a weak Atlanta defense. I think they're going to be guys you're highly going to want to consider targeting. both fairly cheap. They can allow you to spend up on some other plays, but highly projected players that, if given the opportunity in minutes, which they should be, and this should be a close game, they definitely will be able to perform. Alright, the next position that we're going to recommend is going to be Dwayne Dedman at the forward position. He can also play center on DraftKings, but facing that weak Orlando interior, there's a chance John Collins doesn't play tonight, and if Collins does sit out, then Gordon is going to be a fantastic play. Not Gordon, sorry, Dwayne Dedman. Dedman's played well when given the opportunity, when given minutes, and I really like him tonight in this matchup. And finally, the last guy that I'm going to recommend is going to be Kevin Durant. Facing a tough Miami defense, I like Durant for only 9,100. He's a guy I'm willing to pay up to get. He's one of the highest valued guys on this slate, actually second to only Nikola Vucevic. But today, Kevin Durant is definitely a guy that I want to be targeting in as many games as possible. So, thanks as always for tuning into this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And be sure to subscribe and like this video if you wish to continue seeing daily fantasy sports content. Thanks.